So in today's video, I just want to ask one question. Why do Americans suck? Why are Americans technically not the greatest at learning languages? We go live now to President Obama in the White House.
President Obama! President Obama!
You know, I am always telling Michelle and Sansa and Arya, languages and Americans, they just don't go hand in hand. People ask me, oh, President Obama, why is this so? And, you know, I tell them, nigga, I don't know. That was President Obama. Now, as for my take as Ikenna, the man who speaks 7 languages. The man that speaks 7 languages. Yeah. It all goes back to the creation of this country. The year was 1727. George Washington sailed to America for the very first time, and on his way to what is presently known as Boston, he encountered a group of wild Decepticons. With his bayonet and his musket, George Washington was able to fight off all these Decepticons and made it out alive. However, before escaping the encounter, the Decepticons managed to put a curse on him. It was essentially a curse that disallowed his descendants from ever learning another foreign language. As the years have gone on, and after dozens of generations, the majority of Americans now have George Washington's bloodline, and thus are not able to speak a foreign language. That being said, this is undoubtedly a very upsetting thing for most Americans.
Okay, that's it. Yo, this is bullshit. Huh? You are spreading fake news and fake history to the American population.
Dude,
you're a Russian spy or something?
Listen, I'm not a Russian spy. Я не русский шпион. Ну, конечно нет. Это невозможно. Блядь. But no, really, I mean, why do Americans suck? What is my honest take? Personally, growing up in America, my gut is to blame the school system, and I'll go into this later. But anyways, you know, I feel like the main reason is just the fact that America's got everything, alright? We got everything. We have KFC, okay? We've got Dunkin' Donuts, we've got football, we even have SpongeBob, alright? There isn't really much of a need to go outside of America, and that's why most people only speak one language. America's got everything. America is a very big country. If you travel between different states, accents will change, culture will change a bit, and ultimately you're able just to find everything you'd ever need in America. A lot of people feel comfortable, and the statistic is that nearly 60% of Americans don't have passports and have not traveled outside of the country. So, what are some other reasons behind the fact that most of us only speak one language? It's because the way that we are taught languages in school is horrible. I mean, just to prove this, I mean, how many times have you heard from someone that said, hey, yeah, I learned Spanish for like 6 years in high school and I don't remember a word of it. I'm not sure why someone would be in high school for 6 years. Anyway, well, let's call it 4 years. It's just the education system. The main thing is that schools in America, in particular high schools, are very one-size-fit-all. Okay, so let's say in classroom you have 25 teenagers. I mean, it's fucking hell already. There's 25 teenagers, but you combine that with the fact that all these teenagers are at different levels. And then in walks in this 60-year-old Spanish teacher, and she doesn't really give a shit. She's just trying to get that paycheck. She's like, I'm just trying to get paid. Then all of a sudden, after 2 years, she starts speaking in only Spanish because she thinks that we're ready. Spoiler alert, we are not ready. We can't. No, we can't understand half of what she's saying, and as a result, well, we're already not liking Spanish class, but now we don't like it even more. As a result, like, we get demoralized and we get frustrated and we give up, and then we tell people 5 years later that, oh, you're trying to learn a language? Oh man, that was impossible for me, you shouldn't do it. It's way too hard. Like, no shit. The way languages are taught in school is a recipe for disaster. Man, it is just, I mean, here's the thing. It's just the amount of times that I've asked someone, hey, like, what languages do you speak? And it's like, oh, I speak English and Italian, but, you know, I studied Italian in school, so it doesn't really count. Like, what? Why do we have to say these things? Like, come on, we gotta be better at this education system. Come on. But I don't want to talk about education system too much, because if you look at the statistics, language education around the world in schools, especially at the high school level, is pretty poor. So it's not just an American thing. In terms of what are just American things, the only other thing that I can think of that makes us suck at languages is culture. You see, culture around the world is by and large defined by America. Our TV shows, our movies, our music, our celebrities, our hip hop, whatever. Culture is our largest export. It is what we give the rest of the world. I mean, let's say if England, for example, English people fucking speak English. Let's say China, for example. If China had as large of a cultural impact on the rest of the world as America does, everyone would be speaking Chinese. Everyone would be watching Chinese TV shows, Chinese movies. I mean, Chinese hip hop. Take Chinese hip hop, for example. Like, imagine if white girls were like just all the time talking about their favorite Chinese rappers. Oh my god, you're never gonna guess who's coming to LA. Who? Wait for it. Higher兄弟. Shut up, no way. They are so good. But do you know who my favorite is? You're never gonna guess, but it's Carlos Biar. Oh my god, he's so good too, right? Listen, culture-wise, everything comes from America. Well, maybe not everything, but I'm American, so I like to think so. But a lot of things come from America that are very popular in the rest of the world. Whereas we don't really have many things from other countries that are super popular, apart from Pokemon and tacos. So, in a nutshell, I think it's these three things. Language education in schools is very poor. We have everything you'd ever want, and culturally, we don't really have to look outside America in order to be entertained or influenced. I mean, we have the best entertainment industry, and a lot of our celebrities are known worldwide, and on top of that, we have amazing companies in America. Google, Instagram, Twitter, for example. So all that being said, I find for languages, the thing that gets you most inspired and motivated to learn a new language is media. It is movies, it is TV shows. And when you are not exposed to that and you're just sticking within the environment of, oh my god, on my show last night, Tim cheated on Sally and then Brad, you know, you're not really getting exposed to any external cultures. So what does an American have to do in order to not suck at languages? Start watching, I don't know, Japanese TV shows. Actually, you probably already do. Other options, start watching Korean shows. Start watching French, German, Indian, etc. And listen to foreign music. Music especially is key. I know that for French, I was literally inspired by Stromae. And I was inspired by his music and his music videos. And without Stromae and without his music, I wouldn't speak French today. So the number one thing to do if you don't want to suck at languages is just to go out there and consume as much content as possible in whichever languages you are interested in. Then you're not going to suck anymore, because the two most important things when it comes to learning a new language successfully is passion, and it is genuine interest in the culture behind the language. So you get these two things, you'll go far. And if you want to learn specifically how to learn languages, check out this video I did, how to learn any language in 6 months. Like I said, I speak 6 languages, I'm working on my 7th right now, and I've been learning languages and teaching myself languages for the last 8 years. I know my stuff, and if you want to know your stuff too, I highly recommend to check out that video. Alternatively, you could check out my ebook, Fluency Made Easy. That ebook is basically me talking to you personally for 4 hours, just taking you by the hand, step by step, showing you how to learn any language as easy and as fast as possible. And it's currently on sale too. Anywho, that was the video. Americans, we need to be better. But at the same time, you know, we're not too bad. There's a lot of Americans that are actually very successful at learning languages, and we have some of the most successful ones actually too. So if you are American, don't give up. And if you are not American, stop laughing at us. We know we suck, alright? We're trying to get past that. But you know, we got KFC, we got McDonald's, we got Burger King. We don't need to travel, man. You don't understand. You just don't get it. You don't understand our pain of having everything that we want. But you know, when Americans do travel and when we get into it, you know, we're smart people. We can figure it out. So Americans, we don't innately suck at languages. We're just kind of bred to suck.